Forget New Year, New You. This season is about slowing down, locking the doors, and cozying up at home with the one you really want to do nothing with. Your dog. After the holiday chaos, those quiet nights with a blanket, a podcast, and your pup feel like the reset you actually need. Ollie helps make those moments easier with fresh protein-packed meals made from real human-grade ingredients, so your dog can enjoy some quality comfort food too. Choose from 5 recipes and get a personalized plan for your dog's needs. Meals arrive perfectly proportioned with a scoop and storage container, so serving is fast and mess-free. And with Ollie's in-app on-demand health screenings, supporting your dog is easy, ensuring more cuddles for many years to come. Visit ollie.com/truecrime and use code TRUECRIME for 60% off your first box.
Before we get started with today's episode, just a heads up that there is some explicit graphic testimony in this one, so listener discretion is advised. Lance Atterbury invited a couple friends over to hang out at his house in Detroit, Michigan on May 25th, 2019. But the number quickly grew, and before long, it turned into a party.
How many people at any given time were there?
Say in and out, probably up to 14 people.
All right. So let's say between 9 o'clock and midnight, people coming in, people going out, right?
Correct.
People drinking, people smoking, right?
Not everyone, no.
Around 11 p.m., a group was partying outside of the house. A neighbor, Tiffany Brank, opened her window to tell them to keep their music down because her 13-year-old daughter was home. They told her if she didn't want to see what was happening, to close her window.
They were outside twerking and bobbing and weaving.
Like dancing?
Yes.
Acting crazy?
Yes.
We're not talking about the actual act of sex.
Yes.
Brank grabbed her gun from her room, went outside, and fired off a warning shot. Then the group left. Around 2 a.m., one of the party attendees, Blair Keys, decided to go to a gas station about 2 blocks away. He wanted to drive because he didn't feel safe walking in the neighborhood. Friends Paris Cameron, Tay Davis, and Timothy Blanchard joined him. Inside the convenience store, Paris met a man wearing a camouflage jacket, and the friends watched them chat. Paris had come out to her family as transgender about a year earlier. When they all walked out of the store, Paris waved down the man to tell him to come to their party. He showed up at the house not long after the friends arrived back. One of the other party attendees, Armand Matthews, recognized the man from school when he was younger. Armand, himself a gay male, had moved out of the East Side neighborhood because he felt that it wasn't a place where he could live peacefully. Timothy and Paris took the man upstairs to engage in sexual activities. Lance and Armand also joined in. Blair came upstairs and the man asked him if he wanted to join in too. Blair told him no. Brendan Settles, another partygoer who was dating Armand, walked in and saw what was going on. He and Armand started arguing in the hallway. Armand started throwing up because he was so drunk. Brendan got so frustrated he asked to leave. Right around this time, the man also left the house. Lance said he would take Brendan to his home about 30 minutes away, but Lance was so drunk that Brendan decided that he would drive. Lance ended up falling asleep in the passenger seat. But Brendan's mom wouldn't let a stranger come into her house or sleep in the driveway, so they headed back to Lance's house. While they were gone, Paris, Tay, Timothy, Blair, and Armand were sitting around a table in the dining room in Lance's house. They talked and laughed about what a crazy night it was. It was now about 5 a.m. All of a sudden, they heard a popping noise, which they first thought was fireworks. Blair looked up and saw a man with a mask standing in front of him. The masked man continued to shoot at them. Blair ran into the bathroom and shut the door. He heard Paris scream and saw blood coming in through the walls. Armand grabbed Timothy and they ran down to the basement. When they got to the bottom of the stairs, Timothy motioned to his chest. Armand could see that he was shot and called 911.
Detroit 911 was for the emergency. 911, please, get emergency. Somebody just came in and shot my friend.
Armand told 911 that his friend was shot and asked for an ambulance to come to the house on Devonshire Road. Dispatchers told him to put a towel on the wound and hold it tight to stop the bleeding. The house was a massacre. Timothy, Tay, and Paris were all pronounced dead from their gunshot wounds. Who was this masked man? Were the victims targeted because they were members of the LGBTQ community? Was this a hate crime? This is Jillian, and you are listening to Court Junkie, episode 112. One of the many things I love about following court cases and trials is that the further you dig into a case, the more layers you uncover. And that's part of what I love about the puzzle game Best Fiends, too. Whenever I reach a new level, I feel like I'm uncovering another new layer in a story, one that I actually get to take part in. Best Fiends is this really cool puzzle game that you play on your phone, where you go through levels and solve challenging puzzles. And not only is it incredibly fun, but the scenery and visuals on the game are unlike any I have ever seen. I love collecting all the characters and even competing with my friends to see who has gotten the farthest. Best Fiends is a unique and exciting puzzle experience unlike other puzzle games out there. And it's great because you don't need Wi-Fi to play it. You can play it from virtually anywhere. And it's a casual game, so you can play a couple levels, then go do something else, and then come back and play some more. Best Fiends has thousands of levels already, with new levels, events, and characters added every month. It's hours of fun right at your fingertips. And like I said, you can even play offline. With over 100 million downloads and tons of 5-star reviews, Best Fiends is a must-play. Download Best Fiends for free on the Apple App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R, Best Fiends. As an insurance marketplace, Policygenius talks a lot about how unpredictable the future is. That's why insurance exists in the first place. Right now, life is unpredictable and scary, but there are enough brands out there telling you how we're all in this together. Instead, here's Policygenius's top 3 unpredictably positive things from April. 1. Thousands of dogs and cats across America have found new homes. 2. Everyone is a baker now, and fresh bread is the best smell ever. And 3. People across the world are acting with kindness, compassion, and heroism. Now, there's no graceful segue here, but Policygenius is an insurance marketplace, and there's a big demand for life insurance right now. So if you're looking to get life insurance, here's how they can help. Policygenius compares quotes from the top life insurance companies in one place. It takes just a few minutes to compare quotes from the top insurers to find your best price. This doesn't just save a lot of legwork. You could save $1,500 or more a year by using Policygenius to compare life insurance policies. Once you apply, the Policygenius team will handle all the paperwork and red tape for free. They're in contact with the life insurance companies every day, monitoring developments and helping customers navigate every step. So if you're one of the many people looking to buy life insurance right now, but you're not really sure where to start, head on over to Policygenius.com. Policygenius will find you the best rate and handle the process completely. You can stop worrying about life insurance and get back to baking your own bread, adopting a furry friend, or just being a kind and considerate human. That's Policygenius.com.
What's going on at the location, ma'am?
No, I understand now. I apologize.
That's okay.
Somebody just came in and shot up the house. And 2 of my friends are fatally wounded.
Blair called 911 as he tried to save 20-year-old Paris Cameron. He said someone came in and shot up the house. The dispatcher told him that units were on the way and asked if there were any injuries.
Yes, serious innocent injuries. If you can get one here as soon as possible, please, please.
What person did you see who did the shooting?
So,
Blair told the dispatcher he didn't see the assailant, but knows he's gone. Lance and Brendan arrived back to the neighborhood to see cop cars filling the street. Police questioned them all, asked for buccal swabs, and they consented to a search of their cell phones. Police canvassed the neighborhood and looked for any possible witnesses or evidence. One of the neighbors across the street had a motion-activated camera. Investigators pulled it and reviewed the footage.
45750, what is that?
So you see subject exit the porch of our target address and run eastbound down Devonshire Street.
Police continued their canvass and ended up at the gas station. The area is what's known as a green light area, so the gas station has cameras at nearly every angle. They found the footage from 2:40 a.m. on May 25th, when the four friends entered the convenience store. The man in camouflage walks in at 2:41 a.m. Paris approaches him, and now all five are standing near each other. The four friends walk out of the store towards the gas pumps. Blair overhears Paris inviting the man back to the house. A minute later, the man walks out of the store too. He starts walking away from the group, but is looking back towards them. As the man is walking away, looking back, Paris asks the man, "What's up?" to get his attention. Blair pulls up and tells Paris to get into his car. Paris walks towards the man, still trying to get his attention. She gives the man the address to the party and then goes back to Blair's car and gets in. Blair gets mad at Paris for telling the man where they'll be. As they begin to drive away, Paris shouts out of the back window and tells the man, "Don't forget to come through." Lead investigator, Detective Petra Williams, published a screenshot from the surveillance video of the man in camouflage to the public, calling him a person of interest.
So once the green light video was extracted, we sent it to facial recognition, and then we released a clip from inside of the video. We released it on the news. And later on that evening, we had Crime Stopper tips and facial recognition coming back with the name of the person who was inside the gas station.
Did that happen on Saturday, May 25th?
Yes.
So the same day as the shooting, just into the day?
Yes.
Did you, the person that you now had as a person of interest that you wanted to interview, did you have a location or a place that he was living?
Yes.
What was that?
3440 Buckingham.
Did you do a canvass of that area?
Yes.
Where is Buckingham in relation to the BP gas station?
The next block. It's on the corner.
Within the day, the detective had a name for her person of interest, 19-year-old Devon Robinson. His known address was 3440 Buckingham, a block over from the gas station and just a few blocks away from the crime scene. Next, police canvassed the street Robinson lives on and gleaned the following from a surveillance camera located at another house on Buckingham, also a couple blocks away from the party. A figure wearing light-colored clothing emerges from a taxi cab at 2:32 a.m. and walks in the direction of 3440 Buckingham. 6 minutes later, the figure emerges from the house and walks northbound and then turns left. 1 minute later, Devon Robinson is seen on the gas station surveillance video. He's wearing the same clothes as the figure on the other camera. At 2:44 a.m., the camera on Buckingham captures the figure in light-colored clothing, walking south, turning around, and then heading north. The figure is seen walking back and forth several times, pacing, until they eventually walk past the home on Buckingham. At 2:50 a.m., the gas station camera captures a figure in light-colored clothing walking through the gas pumps and heading towards the party house. Robinson is seen again at 4 a.m. inside the gas station, buying a drink and cigarettes. At 4:02 a.m., the figure goes in the direction of the 3440 Buckingham home he had gone into hours earlier. At 4:53 a.m., the figure emerges from the home again, this time wearing all black, and heads south. At 5:01 a.m., a figure is seen going back north and into 3440 Buckingham. Detective Williams now knew who her person of interest was, but she still needed to find him. Officers spoke to a woman named Sabrina Bates, who lived at that Buckingham house, who said Robinson left between 9 and 10 a.m. on May 25th and hadn't come back. Robinson's mother, Mallory, also apparently left the next day and hadn't been seen since.
We were able to reach Ms. Robinson by phone. Investigator Todd reached out to Ms. Robinson on several occasions, and she refused to meet with them.
Did Ms. Robinson ever willingly talk with police in this case?
No.
About 30 different Detroit police officers were looking for Robinson, including the headquarters surveillance unit, the homicide task force, and patrol officers. On June 5th, they received an anonymous tip with an address of a house where he was seen hanging out. 8 officers surrounded the residence. They laid eyes on their target, Devon Robinson, sitting on the front porch wearing red basketball shorts. He was taken into custody without incident. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office announced Robinson's arrest and charges of first-degree murder and assault, quote, in connection with the killing of 3 members of Detroit's LGBTQ community. Prosecutors charged Robinson with 3 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of assault with intent to murder, and 5 counts of the use of a firearm in connection with the felony. 10 charges in total. Quote, it is alleged that on May 25, 2019, Robinson shot and killed Tay Davis, 21, Paris Cameron, 20, and Timothy Blanchard, 20, all of Detroit, inside a home on Devonshire on Detroit's east side. Davis and Blanchard were gay men, and Cameron was a transgender woman. Prosecutors also alleged Robinson shot and wounded 2 additional victims who have survived their injuries. The case was assigned to Special Prosecutor Jamie Powell Horowitz of the Fair Michigan Justice Project, or FMJP, which is a collaboration between the Prosecutor's Office and Fair Michigan Foundation. FMJP is a program that assists Michigan law enforcement officers and prosecutors in solving serious crimes against lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and transgender persons. Prosecutor Kim Worthy said, quote, the alleged actions of this defendant are disturbing on so many levels, but the fact that this happened during Pride Month adds salt into the wound. We must remain ever vigilant in our fight to eradicate hate in Wayne County and beyond. Fair Michigan President Alana McGuire said that this case illustrates the mortal danger faced by members of Detroit's LGBTQ community, including transgender women of color. She said the LGBTQ community knows that the Fair Michigan Justice Project, the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, and the Detroit Police Department stand ready to aggressively prosecute these brutal crimes.
This is a call from and paid for by an inmate at Wayne County Jail. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. If you don't wish to talk, hang up now. Thank you for using Callmate.
Hello? Hey, what's up, Mom?
On June 12, 2019, Devon Robinson called his mother from the Wayne County Jail. He tells his mom he only has $10 on his account to make phone calls and asks her to put more money on his prepaid account. She says she's going to come visit him next week, and he's scheduled to go to court the day after that. Robinson says there's a chance he'll come home after that hearing. He says his attorneys want more money and thinks it'll be $30,000 to $50,000. They say Robinson's court-appointed attorney was cold. Robinson's mother tells him that she saw reporting about his charges on the news.
They have premeditated, and then it's because they have an LGBT enforcement of these crimes for these fucking motherfuckers. You feel me?
Right.
So they basically trying to say because you did it because you hate gay people and all that shit. But see, that shit ain't gonna fly. You got sisters and mama that's lesbian. You feel me? You know that's not true.
Exactly.
Robinson's mother says that he's facing capital murder. Since there's no death penalty in Michigan, prosecutors are seeking life in prison. His mother says there's no way he could have committed a hate crime because she herself is a lesbian.
And I told the police I was gay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that should be out the window, that hate crime shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that's coming from.
My thing is, if you ever felt like that way or something, don't be ever afraid to come to me with that shit. Don't keep that kind of shit from me.
I'm not. You know I'm not.
Robinson tells his mother he told the police he's gay, but that she knows he's not. He goes on to ask about what Sabrina Bates told the police. His mother says she knows he was at home, so he couldn't be a witness to the crime.
I know.
You're going to be crying in there, son.
Okay, what you mean? I gotta let it out.
I love you.
I love you more.
On June 15th, Robinson discussed with his uncle more about what Sabrina Bates told the police.
Was that bad or good?
It wasn't really nothing.
Oh, so he read her statement.
Yeah, she just basically said I had her phone.
Yeah, she kept talking about that damn phone.
Robinson says Sabrina told police that he had her phone. In November, prosecutors presented evidence at a 2-day pretrial hearing. It was there that the state revealed they had a new witness. In between the days of the hearing, Robinson's sister called him, and they talk about the new witness.
What's Mama talking about this new witness? You talking to your lawyer about that?
It's a video.
No, bro. No, it's not.
What new witness they talking about then?
Bro, I don't know for sure. I'm hearing shit. I don't know.
You know before we left out the courtroom, right?
Right. Listen to me, though, bro. Listen to me, bro. I don't know, but it's not no video. And if it's a video, they got a video and another person. I know for sure they got a person, bro.
Oh, my mama got to get on the stand.
Your mama?
Yeah, she got to get on the stand. That's why they put her out the courtroom.
Oh, okay.
Because she a witness. That's the only witness I can think of. That was the only 2 witnesses.
At the hearing, Robinson's attorney told the court that there was no evidence against his client. You have a fanciful theory put forth by the prosecutor, attorney Evan Callanan Jr. said. There is simply not a sufficient quantum of evidence of identification to bind him over on anything. The judge ruled that Devon Robinson must stand trial. On March 11th, 2020, he did just that.
This case, I'm here to tell you, it's packed full of emotion, right? I mean, we've got TV cameras, we've got 3 victims, we've got sex involved. This thing is, I'm sure, not part of your everyday life. All right? So right now, it's time to put both feet on the ground, take a deep breath. We're here, we're real, we're relaxed, and we're going to make them prove it.
Defense attorney Callanan said he agreed with the prosecutor, Jamie Powell Horowitz, when she said in her opening statement that the one issue they are going to have to talk about is the identification of the shooter in this case. He said Blair didn't get a good look at Robinson in the gas station, and Armand Matthews also said that he didn't see the shooter when he entered the house. Callanan accused the prosecutors of wanting the jury to believe that because Robinson was at the house to receive a sexual favor, he must be the killer.
They don't see it. It happens right in front of them, and they don't see it. When the responding officers come out, they're unable to tell them who did this. When they give statements, written statements, they're unable to say who did this. As time goes on, Blair, Mr. Clifton Keys, his memory starts to get a little bit better. So, yeah, well, this guy came in with a black mask, and I could tell from his skin complexion and his eyes that it was the defendant. And then in the next breath, he'll say, honestly, I really didn't see him. They don't have it beyond a reasonable doubt.
Blair Keys took the stand to tell his version of events that night, starting from meeting Robinson at the gas station and then seeing him come into the Devonshire home afterwards.
We're pulling back in front of the house. He's walking towards the house.
What is Paris doing?
Paris is getting out the car, saying, oh, so you actually did come through, and then she takes him into the house.
What do you do?
I sit in the car because I'm irritated and I lost my wallet. So I'm thinking should I, I'm debating if I should replace it or should I try to go find it.
Blair said he told the group that he didn't like them bringing a random boy from the gas station back to their house. The others got out of the car and Lance got in. Blair rolled himself a joint and he says Lance tried to come on to him. Blair then got out of the car and went into the house. He saw Tay, Timothy, and Paris laughing and rolling around. They tell him this boy is with it, and they go upstairs to see Robinson. He says Paris asked him if he wanted to go down on Robinson, and Blair said he was going to do it, but then noticed that something was off.
Now, mind you, I'm drunk at the time, so I ain't even gonna lie. I was gonna do it. I was going to do it, but when we had gotten a room and they left me in a room by myself with this boy, it was just something about him. It was something off about this boy.
He said he ended up walking out. Paris came in and took Robinson into the room next door with Tay and Timothy. Blair went downstairs. He later came back up and saw Paris, Tay, and Timothy going down on Robinson.
Does he say anything to these individuals?
No, the whole time he's not saying anything. He's just sitting there, chilling the whole entire time. Not an emotion in his face.
Blair referred to Robinson as a trade or a gay man who appears to be heterosexual. He said he left the room when he saw Brendan Settles coming up the stairs. Brendan caught Armand participating and asked how he could do that. Blair and Brendan didn't get along, so they all began arguing. After about 20 minutes, things calmed down.
What is the interaction between Paris and the defendant before he leaves?
They just exchange numbers.
How does the defendant...
And then after that hug, and Devon walks the way that he came.
How does the defendant look while Paris is talking to him?
He has just a very bland look. He said, oh yeah, I'll see you again. That's what he said when he left.
Blair described Robinson as having a cold look when he left the house. Then Blair and Brendan started arguing again. Brendan and Lance left to go to Brendan's house. Meanwhile, Blair, Paris, Tay, Timothy, and Armand were sitting around a card table, joking about the orgy.
We hear footsteps. We think it's Lance. We hear mind you, it's kind of close to July, so we hear little firecracker noises. It wasn't a big gun, but it was pow, pow, pow. So we thinking it's Lance playing a joke. But then we see a guy with a ski mask come in.
Blair said he got a good glance at the shooter's eyes. He described the shooter as having a light complexion. He ran into a bathroom right behind where he was sitting at the table. All he heard next was Paris screaming and more gunshots. He could see blood coming in through the drywall. He said he waited for the shooter to leave. When he heard the front door close, he walked out of the bathroom. In the dining room, he saw Paris on the floor, bleeding from gunshot wounds. He called 911, ran down to the basement, and saw Armand helping Timothy, so he ran back up to help Tay and Paris. Tay didn't have a pulse, but Paris was still breathing. He said there was so much blood on Paris that he couldn't tell where she was bleeding from. He told the 911 operators he didn't see who did the shooting, but a few days later said he would be able to identify the shooter based off of their eyes and skin complexion. To him, the shooter looked like Devon Robinson. On cross, attorney Callanan pressed Blair on the timeline of events that evening. But that's when the testimony got heated. You and Lance were sitting in the car from 3 to 3:30, Callanan asked. Nah, Blair replied. And then the two started arguing until the judge stepped in.
Sir.
It's obvious.
Mr. Keys, no, we're not going to do this. Do I need to have you leave the stand for a moment? So you can get yourself together? Okay, we're going to have this witness.
Come this way.
Blair, we're going to go with witness.
Come this way.
As Blair was walking out of the courtroom, he said, I don't understand why he's asking dumbass questions. Just lock him the fuck up. Cross-examination resumed after a short recess. Callanan then asked about Robinson's demeanor when he left the house.
And when he walked out, he didn't say anything to any of you, did he?
No.
He didn't threaten you in any way, did he?
No. But the look in his eyes,
Sir. Sir.
Mr. Keys, I'm going to remind you to only respond to questions that are posed to you, okay? It's not a problem. You just can't provide commentary whenever you want. You have to respond to questions that are asked of you.
The judge had Blair's quote about the look in his eyes stricken from the record. Blair agreed that he isn't a psychic or mind reader. He said he didn't remember what time Robinson left the house.
You didn't see the face of the shooter, did you?
No, but I got a good...
I'm asking, did you see the face of the shooter, yes or no?
No. But I did, no.
Sir, there's no question. You called 911, right?
Yes, sir.
You were asked, did you see who did the shooting? And responded, no, correct?
No, sir.
Callanan played the 911 call for Blair and asked him about how he said he could not ID the shooter. Callanan pointed out that he also said that in the subsequent times he spoke to officers that evening.
You didn't say, oh, Mr. Robinson, or a guy looking like Mr. Robinson came in and shot my friends, did you?
No, I did not.
And if you recall, you recall being asked and answering, what did the shooter look like, and responding, and then, what did the shooter look like, question, what was he wearing, and responding, I don't know, all black with a ski mask and a skull cap. Do you recall that?
Yes.
All right. You don't say anything about his eyes or his skin complexion at this time, do you?
No, sir.
It was 3 days later when Blair told police about the eyes and complexion. On redirect, prosecutor Powell Horowitz allowed Blair to explain why he was so upset before the break.
I'm just really frustrated about me losing my friends, that's all. I didn't mean to take it out on anybody. It's just more so, I'm really frustrated.
He said he was hysterical on the phone with 911 and with police on the day of the shooting. But he calmed down a couple days later and was able to tell them that the shooter had a light complexion, like the person he met in the store earlier. Armand Matthews testified that he too felt something was off when Robinson left the party.
I didn't see this young man leave, but before he left, he acknowledged everybody and everything, and he seemed really shook. Like he was, the energy I got off of him was not friendly energy. He gave off energy like he was disgusted.
Did you say goodbye to the defendant at all?
I did. I told him, to take care of whatever. He said, y'all, let's see me again. I didn't know what that was about. We'll see you again. I didn't know what that was about.
He then described what it was like for him when he first started hearing the popping noises.
We're sitting there, and next thing, literally, this is all we were doing, was sitting there, and that's when the gunshots took place. I was in the dining room area. I really could not see the front door. Blair's seen everything. When I seen the gunshots, I immediately, first we were all, we were like, what are they? Are they fireworks? But, I grabbed Timothy and I rushed down to the basement and I had him with me. When we were running down the basement, he was saying something to me. He immediately stopped talking. He grabbed my hand and put my hand where the bullet shot was, on his chest.
Indicating for the record your hand is on your chest.
Yes. And I held pressure. I ran back upstairs because I heard Blair screaming. I ran back upstairs to make sure everything all right. I seen Teddy and Pierce curled up in the corner. I called 911. I stayed on the phone with 911. I ran back downstairs. I held pressure on Miami because he was still breathing. Timothy. He was looking at me, and I held pressure on him. And I stayed on the phone until the cops got there. When the cops got there, she put her gun to my face, made me take pressure off of Timothy. And in my belief, that is when he really lost his life. Because once I moved my hands off his chest, the blood was rushing a lot faster than what it was. And she put her gun to me, told me to put my hands up and all this extra stuff. And I did what she said because I didn't want her to shoot me,
Armand said there that the police came in pointing guns at him. He complied with their instructions to put his hands in the air. He believes it was then, when he took his hands off of Timothy's chest, that were applying pressure to the gunshot wound, that Timothy bled to death. He was escorted out of the house and placed in the back of a squad car. He said he agreed to talk with police and give a DNA sample. On cross, the defense again asked about the possible identification of the shooter.
And when you called 911, you said somebody just came in and shot my friends, right?
I did.
You didn't say who, did you?
I did not.
And in fact, in your prior testimony, you've indicated that you didn't see the individual shooting, did you?
I did not.
The medical examiner listed all victims' manners of death as homicide and causes of death as multiple gunshot wounds. Paris Cameron and Timothy Blanchard were each shot 4 times, while Tay Davis was shot 2 times. A gun was found at the home Robinson was located in when he was arrested. It did not match the bullet casings recovered from the Devonshire house. The murder weapon was never recovered. We'll be back right after this quick break from today's sponsors. You likely heard me talk about Caldrea in last week's episode. Caldrea is a consciously crafted home and body care brand that combines thoughtful ingredients with delectable scents. I told you about their hand soaps and lotions that I've been using and that I just love. Well, in addition to those, Caldrea also has home cleaning products that effectively clean while transforming your home with your favorite fragrances. While we're spending so much time at home, why not keep it clean and fresh? Caldrea makes cleaning more enjoyable and worry-free with incredible, effective formulas that are addictively pleasurable to use. Their products use a combination of essential oils from flowers and herbs and other thoughtfully chosen ingredients. Home cleaning products are available in scents like pear blossom agave and sea salt neroli that so many of their customers love. One customer said their countertop spray is great for everyday surface cleanups and that the fragrance leaves their entire kitchen smelling luxurious, something I can definitely attest to. Another customer wrote that their guests have actually commented on the wonderful scent of their dish soap. Now, you can get free shipping on orders of $50 or more when you buy online at Caldrea.com. That's Caldrea.com. Visit Caldrea.com and add wonder to your washing. What if I told you that you could color your hair in the comfort of your own home for a really great price, and that you'd also get the tools you need to choose your perfect color? Well, now you can do just that with Madison Reed. Gone are the days when you only had 2 options for coloring your hair: outdated at-home color or the time and expense of a traditional salon. With Madison Reed, you can take coloring your hair at home to the next level and get gorgeous professional hair color delivered right to your door, starting at just $22. Madison Reed's colors are crafted by master colorists who blend nuances of light, dark, cool, and warm tones to create over 55 multidimensional shades. And don't worry, finding the perfect shade couldn't be easier. Go to their website, madison-reed.com, and take their quiz. that asks you things like what you want your end result to be, what your hair texture is, etc. Then they match you with your perfect shade. So do your hair coloring at home and look as if you just came from the salon. Now, Court Junkies can get 10% off plus free shipping on their first color kit by using the code COURT. Go to madison-reed.com and use the code COURT. That's madison-reed.com and use the code COURT. We've got an exciting podcast to share today. It's Copycat Killers from Reels and Podcast One. Every week, Copycat Killers goes behind the headlines of real-life murder cases which copy memorable slayings seen in Hollywood movies. Stay tuned to the end of this episode for a great clip from Copycat Killers. Then be sure to subscribe on Spotify, Podcast One, Apple Podcasts, and many other podcast listening apps so you don't miss an episode. Detroit homicide detectives Richard Hauser and Ira Todd were tasked with interviewing Devon Robinson after his arrest. That interview was shown in court. Robinson is dressed in an orange jumpsuit and is sitting across from the detectives. They read him his Miranda rights, and then Detective Todd says they know that he's responsible for the triple homicide. Detective Todd says they have enough evidence to secure a warrant for his arrest. Since they already know what he did, now they want to know why. He says he can advocate to the prosecutor's office on behalf of Robinson. He tells him that since he's not being a butthole to them, they're not going to be a butthole to him. Detective Hauser says he lives near Robinson and would see him on his drives to and from work. He then says they have audio, video, and DNA that all place him at the house that night. Robinson then admits to a sexual encounter at the house, but insists it only happened with Paris. He said no one knows, quote, the down low shit, not even his mom or dad. He says he's afraid to tell his dad that he's gay because he thinks he'll be disowned. Detective Hauser says his own son came out as gay to him. Although it was rough at first, he says he still loves his son. Detective Todd asks him why the murders occurred. Robinson asked why would he know? The detective says because he knows that Robinson is responsible for them. He then claims he has a wiretap audio recording of Robinson describing shooting the victims. Robinson says that's not true.
We're trying to give you the straight up facts about what we know.
But I can't. Y'all telling me what y'all know, but I know for sure that I didn't do anything.
Well, why don't you go out and tell somebody that you did?
Robinson starts laughing, and the detectives tell him it's not funny. People are dying, that's not funny, they tell him. Robinson says that them trying to accuse him of something he didn't do is what's funny. On cross, the defense asked Detective Hauser if he lies to suspects during interviews.
You lied multiple times to him during this presentation, correct?
I did.
And he never admitted shooting anybody, did he?
No, sir.
There was no wiretap recording of Robinson. Detective Hauser said yes when asked if they told him that they would go to the prosecutor's office to be his advocate.
Your intention isn't to go to the prosecutor and be his advocate, is it?
Well, the evidence will be given to the prosecutor.
You're not acting as his advocate when you go to the prosecutor's office, are you?
Argumentative.
Sustained.
I'm judge's legitimate cross-examination.
Well, you've already asked the question and he already responded. Sustained.
On redirect, the detective explained why he lies to defendants during their interrogations.
You do lie to defendants with your interrogations, is that correct?
I do.
Why?
Just to extract information from them.
Do you expect the defendants to be honest with you all the time?
They're not honest all the time.
And why would you say that?
27 years I've been doing this. It's just a fact. I mean, they're not honest all the time.
Is
They minimize their roles sometimes.
Okay. Now, you told several lies to the defendant in this case.
I did.
And one of those involved a wiretap that you were watching the complainants in this case.
Correct.
Were you guys ever watching the complainants?
Not at all.
Were you investigating the complainants for doing something wrong?
No.
Why did you guys tell the defendant that?
Just minimizing his role, so trying to extract information from him.
When you say minimizing his role, when you first started interrogating him, you were coming at him from a standpoint of he might have been the victim in this situation?
Correct.
Did you know at this point, this is June 5th when you're interviewing the defendant, at this point, do you have any information about why this happened?
No.
Lead investigator Detective Williams attempted to serve Robinson's mother Mallory with a subpoena to testify at the trial. But she changed her address and hung up on police when they attempted to verify it. So they had to leave the subpoena at the Wayne County Jail to be served when she went to visit her son. She did attend court for several days, but was never called to the stand. Investigators also had difficulties locating Sabrina Bates, who lived in the Buckingham home with the Robinsons. She came to court one day and then did not appear on the day that prosecutors wanted to call her to the stand. The judge agreed to issue a warrant for her arrest. When she appeared in court, she was asked what she told the officers on May 28th about when she last saw Robinson.
All I said was when I woke up, I can't tell you if it was Friday or Saturday. When I woke up, he was asleep, got up, took a shower, ate, played with the kids, and left.
All right, the night of the shooting, where were you?
I never heard no shots because when I get off work, I work 12 hours at Chrysler and 4. When I get up and when I go to sleep, I'll sleep to the next day. I never heard
Ma'am,
no
that
shooting.
wasn't the question that was posed to you. Madam Prosecutor, perhaps if you give her the specific date.
Going back to May 25th, Saturday, where were you on Saturday, May 25th? During the evening hours.
At work.
What hours did you work on May 25th?
From 4 in the morning, and I get off to about 4, and I walk from Chrysler to home. So it take me about till 5 or 6 to get home.
Ma'am, did I just talk to you in front of Sergeant Duplessis in the witness room?
Yes.
And did you indicate to me that you were sleeping all night when this happened?
I said when I go to sleep, I sleep all night.
Did I ask you about whether or not you were the shooter in this case?
I said I didn't hear no shot.
Ma'am, that's not the question that was posed to you.
What is she saying?
No, you're not going to ask me questions either. Okay? That's not what we're going to do here.
Sabrina went on to say that she knows she's there for a triple homicide case, but doesn't know who the victims are.
I don't know who was killed, and I don't know who killed nobody.
Did you commit a homicide?
No, I did not.
Did you leave 3440 Buckingham?
Did I what?
Did you leave your home on Buckingham on May 25th in the early morning hours and commit a homicide?
No, I did not even leave, period, until I got ready for work again.
So you didn't leave the night of the murder? You stayed in your house?
Yes, I slept all night.
She said 2 individuals came to her house to get clothing for Robinson on May 28th, 3 days after the murders. She also said that at the time of the shooting, Robinson had been using her cell phone for about a week. She found it the following day on the couch. She then gave it to police. They eventually gave it back. On cross, the defense asked if Robinson even lived at the Buckingham house.
And Devon, did Devon actually ever reside there?
No.
All right. But he would stay a couple days at a time and then go somewhere else, right?
Right.
As police conducted their investigation, they looked for other possible suspects. They sought to interview everyone who was at the house that night for the party. Brendan revealed that Paris actually had a boyfriend.
And you told police that this individual was there around 8 or 9 o'clock, correct?
Yes.
And that he was real standoffish.
Yes.
What did you mean by he was standoffish?
Because he didn't want anybody to know his sexual preference, but we already figured.
And he kept asking for Paris for money, correct?
After, we all had, the party, whatever y'all would call it.
Well, you indicated in your statement that he kept asking Paris for money.
Yes, yes.
He said the man Paris was dating left earlier that night on peaceful terms. There was also a suspicious argument between Brendan, Blair, and Armand right before the shooting. Brendan and Lance had left the house and weren't home until after the police arrived. Lance left his cell phone at his house, and Brendan's cell phone wasn't working, so it couldn't be used to verify their story.
When you left, was there anybody at the house shooting?
No.
When you came back, were the police there?
Yes.
Did you know the police were going to be there when you got back?
Nope.
This individual that was asking Paris for money that she was dating, you said that he left peaceably?
Yes.
Did you know him at all?
Yes.
How did you know him?
He is one of my high school friends' cousin.
Brendan's mother did corroborate that she spoke to him at their house for about 10 minutes before he was told that Lance couldn't stay. He lived about 30 minutes away from the Devonshire home. After hearing about the argument over money between Paris and her boyfriend, Detective Williams worked to track him down.
Looking at number 38, who is that?
Kirk Tatum.
And is this the individual that you had information about had been at the house at the Devonshire with Paris earlier in that evening?
Yes.
Were you able to follow up with this individual?
I was not.
Why not?
He was deceased.
Okay, and does he have the same complexion as the defendant in the courtroom?
No, he does not.
Detective Williams was unable to follow up with Paris's boyfriend because he is deceased. She did say that he does not have the same complexion as the defendant. She obtained a copy of his cell phone records in an effort to eliminate him. His cell phone pinged in the area of Devonshire around 10 p.m. that night. At 1:16 a.m., his next call pinged on the west side of Detroit, where he was known to live. She also worked to eliminate the surviving victims from the house as possible suspects.
The timing of the 911 calls were also consistent with the time of the video of a figure leaving the Devonshire location.
What about Armand? Did you look at the 911 calls and where Armand was?
Correct.
Tell me about that.
So Armand was the same thing. With the timing of his 911 call was still consistent with the time of a person fleeing the location. He was on the phone with 911 and was still there when officers were there. And as we saw on the video, a figure has left the Devonshire location at that time. So those two individuals were still on the phone with 911 at the time. So they could not have been the person who did the shooting.
According to Sabrina Bates's cell phone records, there were 10 calls made on May 25th between 12:34 a.m. and 4:50 a.m. Remember, she had said that Devon Robinson was in possession of her phone that night. The first 5 calls were to a cab company. Then there was a call at 2:16 a.m. to Mallory Robinson, Devon's mother, for 5 minutes. At 4:50 a.m., there was a call to Mallory Robinson for 1 second. The phone pings near Devonshire. On cross, Detective Williams said there was no way to tell who was in possession of the phone when it was used. She also admitted that she doesn't know who all of the individuals were that were at the party earlier that evening.
I know what was told by the individuals who were there and still survived the incident.
But you don't know everyone that was there, and you don't know maybe what their contacts were, do you?
Correct.
You don't know if anyone left there angry, do you?
I was not told anybody left angry.
She said she was aware of the neighbor's warning shot fired earlier in the evening. Police tested that gun and it was not a match to the bullet casings found inside the home. Many of the partygoers had left the party after that shot was fired. Police were unable to track all of them down. As for where Robinson actually lived, Detective Williams said she does not have an ID, driver's license, or any mail addressed to him with a Buckingham address on it. She also said that aside from the gas station video, there's no video with Robinson's face on it. On redirect, Detective Williams said she did not receive tips for anyone else involved in the killings, aside from Robinson. The defense declined to put on a case. They did not call any witnesses to the stand. In her closing arguments, prosecutor Powell Horowitz said the case is about hate. It's about self-hate. She said Robinson shot people in the house because if they were dead, they couldn't reveal his true sexuality.
This happened because the defendant didn't want anyone to know about his sexuality. He went home that night and he knew that they were all going to be talking. It was all going to be all over the neighborhood. You heard even Armand tell you he moved out of that neighborhood because he didn't feel like he could be a gay male in that neighborhood. And I know you're going to hear about how the mom has a girlfriend and how the sister has a girlfriend too. The reality is, for this family, it is different from that. And you hear that from the defendant's mouth. It's the thing. Everybody was going to know. Everybody was going to find out. My mom was going to find out. My dad was going to disown me. He came home that night, right after this happened, after spitting and gagging, and went into his house and didn't know what to do because this oral sex with multiple men is about to be all over the neighborhood. And so he makes an even stupider decision to get dressed in black clothing, head down towards Brunswick, over to Devonshire, kill all these people, come running back out towards Buckingham, back in the house. Again, you would have to believe, after all of this, that some random person went for an 8-minute walk at the exact time of the shooting. That's not what happened. This is the defendant. The defendant did this.
Defense attorney Callanan thanked the jury for coming to court because of the pandemic. He said he was wondering if one or two wouldn't show up. He told them they weren't there to garner sympathy for the victims because they're gay or transgendered. He added that the prosecution wanted jurors to infer everything here. The state didn't have the murder weapon, and they didn't have fingerprints tying Robinson to the murder itself. There was no witness testimony of the defendant confessing to the act. Who is the person in black? Callanan asked. He said the only explanation is, I don't know.
Or what is it? I think maybe it could be the defendant. Hold on a second here. What? You're going to think. They're going to ask you to think that it's the defendant. The burden is beyond a reasonable doubt. You're just thinking that it could be him isn't good enough. You have got to have an abiding conviction to a moral certainty that it's him. Who is the person in black?
Callanan said the state's closing argument was the first time he heard a possible motive for the crime. He said Robinson was a willing participant with no reason in the world to shoot 3 individuals. He then walked over to the defendant, put his hands on his shoulders, and said he's a 19-year-old young man who didn't do anything. He said the police's conduct of lying to Robinson makes him very upset.
It's so deep at this point in time, it stinks to high heaven. It stinks. And despite each and every tactic that they used, he politely and he calmly denied it.
Callanan said he's going to be 68 years old and has some health concerns. He hoped the jurors' concerns with the coronavirus doesn't make them want to quickly reach a verdict. He ended by praising them for their courage and asking them to find Devon Robinson not guilty. Prosecutor Powell Horowitz rebutted the defense, saying it was a very personal shooting. The motive came from the defendant's own words when he was talking to police, she said. It's the thing everybody finding out. Well, everyone knows now because he left 2 people alive, she said. She said the evidence in this case points only to the defendant. She asked the jury to go back and review everything, and when they do, find justice for the 3 deaths and 2 who had to watch their friends die. After about 4 hours of deliberation, the jury reached their decision. The jury found Devon Robinson guilty of 3 counts of murder and 2 counts of assault with intent to murder. At the time of this recording, Robinson has yet to be sentenced. He faces life in prison. And that's all for this episode. As always, I'd love to know what you think about this case. Do you believe Devon Robinson was the masked figure in black who murdered the partygoers? Do you think prosecutors had enough evidence against him beyond a reasonable doubt? Let me know by joining the conversation on Instagram @CourtJunkie, by tweeting me @CourtJunkiePod, or by emailing me at podcast@CourtJunkie.com. This episode was researched and written by Jennifer Tintner from the Law and Crime Trial Network. Follow Jennifer on Twitter @JenniferTintner. If you'd like to hear these episodes ad-free and check out additional Court Junkie bonus episodes, go to courtjunkie.com/support, and that will redirect you to my Patreon page. Thanks everyone for listening. Until next time. The last few months have taught us what's important in life. It's also taught us what we need to eliminate or change. It's the same for business. What are the changes you need to make? Do you have a hairball of multiple software systems when you could streamline with one? All you need is NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. Finance, HR, inventory, e-commerce, everything you need all in one place, so you save time, money, and headaches. Whether you're doing 1 million or hundreds of millions in sales, NetSuite gives you visibility and control so you can manage every penny with precision. Join over 20,000 companies who trust NetSuite to go faster with confidence. NetSuite surveyed hundreds of business leaders and assembled a playbook of the top strategies they're using as America reopens for business. Receive your free guide, 7 Actions Businesses Need to Take Now, and schedule your free product tour at netsuite.com/court. Get your free guide and schedule your free product tour right now at netsuite.com/court. That's netsuite.com/court. As promised, here is a clip from Copycat Killers.
Breaking Bad, a dramatic cable series that changes the way Americans view television.
It fed into America's growing appetite for destruction. It had everything that everyone wants.
Just months before the series finale airs, one of the series' biggest fans plans to steal a scene from his favorite character.
Jason watches the show and says to himself, if Jesse can do this, I can do this too.
Jason thought that he could commit the perfect murder and get away with it, just like on the show.
It's a true copycat crime executed by a deranged television fanatic.
Jason Hart would be known as the Breaking Bad killer, and you have to imagine that as somebody who was that big a fan of the show, that there's probably a sense of pride in being connected with that forever.
In January of 2008, AMC adds a new TV show to its Sunday night lineup. It's called Breaking Bad, and the pilot episode is an instant success.
Breaking Bad was regarded by many critics as one of the greatest television shows of all time. People loved Breaking Bad.
Throughout the first season, the show's creator, Vince Gilligan, takes audiences into the troubled life of his main character, Walter White, who's just discovered he has stage 3 lung cancer.